Size 9.2.5, we got some Dragonflight news here. Good morning, Sugar Dust. How's it going? Shabintos, welcome back. So, in an interview with Forbes, World of Warcraft's lead narrative designer Steve Danuser elaborated a little bit on the whole role of Wrathion. Yeah, we know Wrathion's going to play a role, man. His dad lost his damn mind. He's got to play a role in Dragonflight. I mean, he's been looking for the Dragon Isles this whole time. That was one reason why people thought this was going to be a Dragon Isles expansion, was because of Wrathion. Yes, no problem. You're welcome. So Heather Newman asked Wrathion, the good son of a legendary bad dragon, returns this expansion as a leading character. But he wasn't shown in any of the preview footage of the expansion, unlike most other dragon characters. Has he changed? You know, I did think we would see Wrathion in full cinematic glory in the cinematic for the expansion. We didn't, which was okay. But I did think that if it was a Dragon Isles expansion, we'd see him, and we didn't. Steve Danuser's response: in terms of his appearance, Wrathion is going to maintain his image as a handsome, ne'er-do-wellish kind of guy who can make some questionable choices in the things that he's done over the years. He is really young in dragon terms. He has a very unusual origin. He was the fusion of dragon eggs mixed with outside influences. He consumed the heart of Li Shen, which was brimming with Titan energy. So he has a very unusual origin story. And he's one of the only of a couple black dragons left in Azeroth that we know about him. That we know of. I think they mistyped here. That we know of. It's him and Ebonhorn. That's right. People say, who's going to be the next leader of the Black Dragonflight? Him or Ebonhorn? So Wrathion's got a journey of his own. Interesting. You guys remember this model of Wrathion? Before he was a handsome man. I remember this one. This was a Cataclysm, I think. Steve mentions that Wrathion is very young in terms of dragons. But he's young in our terms as well. The result of the Red Dragon-led experiment to create purified black dragon eggs free of corruption. Wrathion first hatched during the events of Cataclysm. That's right. See, I got some memory. I remember this shit. I remember. From the start, Wrathion made it clear that he planned to be his own dragon. Free not only from Deathwing's influences, but from the Red Dragonflight's influence as well. Back then, Wrathion said, no, I want him to deliver a message to the Red Dragonflight. Tell them that I am free of my father's madness, and I'll be free of them as well. I am to be left alone. This will be my first and only warning. So he wants to be his own man. He wanted to be his own man. Wrathion was also immediately ruthless, sending players on a series of quests to wipe out the remaining members of the Black Dragonflight. Yeah, I remember this. Who he saw as beyond redemption because of his father's actions, most likely. Wrathion had said back then, as you know, black dragons frequently disguise themselves as humanoids in order to tamper with mortal affairs. While the house of my mad father collapsed around him, a few remaining black dragons had gone into hiding, but I can still sense them. My cowardly brothers and sisters will cause untold suffering if we allow them to stay in the shadows. Moreover, they are a threat to me. That's where you come in. Help us slay them all, and I will reward you handsomely. Man, we are a violent creed in this game. I'm surprised these dragons even want us in the Dragon Isles, because I feel like most of our lives we just killed a dragon every time we saw it. Good morning, Sam. Oh, I read your message twice, Sugar Dust. Yes. Good morning again. Skyhorn, are you in stream? That is my question to you. The Heart of Li Shen. I don't remember this. Maybe I kind of stopped playing Mist towards the end. I got busy with school, but I didn't know he ate the Heart of Li Shen. That's interesting. Skyhorn, what's up? All right. By Mists of Pandaria, Wrathion knew the Burning Legion would return. He set out making plans to prepare Azeroth for the coming threat. Believing a divide in the world would be weak. Wrathion wished to see an end to the faction war. Well, that's coming. Wrathion 9.2.5. He probably didn't know it was coming in a patch, but here it is. Wrathion spent a great deal during the Mists building up friendship with Anduin Wrynn, while later recovering from his bones being shattered. Though their worldviews fundamentally conflicted, Anduin seeing Wrathion as too cutthroat, while Wrathion viewed Anduin as soft. Yeah. So they wanted the alliance between the Alliance and Horde to come together, but Wrathion was more of a Malcolm X, I guess, and Anduin was more of a Martin Luther King, you could say. Eventually, Wrathion had players bring him the heart of Li Shin, the Thunder King. In life, Li Shin was the Mogu Emperor who stole the power of the storms from the Titan Keeper Ra. Li Shin was resurrected by the Zandalari during the events of Mists of Pandaria and was the main antagonist of 5.2.0. I wish they would do that one, Throne of Thunder, as a time walking, because that's a fun raid, and he's a fun end boss. When Wrathion ingested the heart, which, as Steve Danuser said, was still brimming with Titan energy, it had a very strange effect. He went into a trance and even spoke in the voice that was not his own for a moment. Anduin, who witnessed the incident, found it extremely unsettling. Wrathion, this is the conversation between Anduin and Wrathion during the ingestion of this heart. Wrathion says, "Ah, the heart of the king. The powers of a god." Anduin, "What are you doing? You're not seriously going to eat that." Wrathion, "It is filled with Titan magic and the language of creation. Oh, I see them, a million worlds, glittering in their perfection, but one above all. Oh." Sounds like he's having a moment there. Wrathion continued to say, "We have fallen. We must rebuild. The final Titan. Do not forget." Anduin said, "What are you trying to pull, Wrathion?" "It is gone. I don't remember any of it. Oh, none of them remembered. The irony." Anduin, "What are you talking about? I don't trust you." Wrathion, "You are wise not to. Champion, I need time to digest what I have learned, but soon we will take action." I don't remember this at all. I think I didn't play through this, but that's wild. He was talking, clearly he's talking about the soul of Azeroth. Millions of worlds glittering, but one above all. We've learned now that our world soul is particularly special, so clearly he's talking about the soul of Azeroth. Wrathion and Dragonflight. Wrathion has been seeking the Dragon Isles at least since the battle for Azeroth, but has been unsuccessful. And now we know why. It was purposely hidden away from the dragons and unable to be found. So that's why he couldn't find it. We now know this is because the Dragon Isles have been hidden from the outside world, but that will change in Dragonflight. Wrathion's focus in Dragonflight sounds like an interesting contrast with his earlier quests. While he has always struggled with Deathwing's legacy, Wrathion's earliest quests involved him cleansing the corruption of the Black Dragonflight through destruction, sending us to kill its members. Now Wrathion sounds like he'll be focusing on renewal, rebuilding the Dragonflight from the ashes. That's right. Look at that handsome. Look at the difference in the models. Look at old Wrathion and new Wrathion. Quite an upgrade. The man... Puberty hit the man pretty hard, it looks like. Yeah. Wrathion's focus, again, to focus on bringing this Black Dragonflight now and healing it. Heather Newman said, what will he be up to in Dragonflight? Steve Danuser, we know that he's been looking for the Dragon Isles. He's been seeking them for a while. Because he has his hunger within him. He has this feeling that he is a descendant of Deathwing and that he has, in some way, to make up for the fractured legacy that Deathwing left behind and what it did, disseminating not only from the Black Dragonflight, but other flights as well. So Wrathion feels that burden of reclaiming the Black Dragonflight from the ashes of what it was. He fancies himself as someone who could help take up the reins of leadership and guide it forward. Now that point of view isn't exactly going to be shared by all other dragons. Certainly, they would have questions about the methods he's used, and wondering about his origins and what that means for him as a dragon. So Wrathion has a great journey ahead. Yeah, that's very cool. He's going to remain dashing and all of that. But we'll see a much more personal side of him as well, as he faces some of these questions about himself and about his Dragonflight. Interesting. Yeah, so Wrathion's, I mean, we all knew Wrathion had to play a big role in the upcoming expansion for sure. That was a given. What kind of role? We're going to find out. Again, it's him and Ebonhorn are the only two real black dragons we know of at this point. So we'll see which one really takes up the leadership role of the Black Dragonflight going into to Dragon Isles here. Yes, you can have assist, Yvain, sorry. We will see. But interesting news here. That's all the news as far as Dragonflight and 9.25 go. But maybe we will watch some content here, some YouTube content while we wait for Raid to fill up.